I see you, champion. Sit, please.
If you walk by, you'll miss out on a good trade.
Heard the lowlanders have been fighting rebels by the coast, west of the Grove. If you're still helping the chief handle those scabs, you might want to talk to Kragella at Tide's Reach.
If I make it out there, I'll see what I can do.
If you need a merchant, here I am.
Good. There are sunwings up here. I'll have to approach them quietly. Got it.
I'm in the air!
Whoa! Head rush. Tilda, I'm in the air.
Then you'll want to pick up an energy cell on one of the ancient Horus Titans. But first you must send out a pulse to activate them. I've sent you the necessary software. To deploy it, you'll have to override one of the communication machines you refer to as Tolnecs. There's one in the middle of the desert that should do nicely.
On it. There's a Tallneck. Need to get on top of its head. Now, how to land this thing. Made it. Okay, Tilda. I've overridden the tall neck.
Good. And the energy cells are now primed. Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Whoa! I'm gonna get used to that. Those rebels. Reinforcements, maybe. Heading for the Grove. I hope the Carl and this Noct can hold out a little longer. There's the energy cell. Right on the Titan's back. Got the cell. Now onto the Grove. The pulse from the tall neck should have reactivated all the energy cells in the region. I should be able to pick up more from the Horus I fly to. Pretty useful. Even after I deal with Regala. Here we go.
Regala's inside. Hikara will soon be dead. It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here it goes.
It's Aloy!
She flies on the wings of the Ten.
The tide has turned! Push through! End of the line, Hikara. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible?
Regala! Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me.
Easy to say when you're atop a machine.
Well, that was just to get your attention. I don't need any help to take you down.
Fine. I accept your challenge. And once I'm done with you, I'll get to finish the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
Now use your strength! Slew 3
Alright, so that's how it's gonna be.
Here it comes!
I'm not giving up.
Don't give up the pain! Use it! This is all you are? If you offer your blood, I spit it to the floor! I will paint this hallowed soil with your blood! I'll finish you! where it ends!
Yeah, it is.
Take the honor! Live on as a memory! Need more ammo. You bring nothing but shame to your tribe! Let me end your...
There.
I'll slit the muscles from your body and hang you from a tree! Is this how you... You die here and now! You should beg me to end your life! Death shall come to you! Fight until death! Here, death greets you! Here I am again, on my knees before bootlets and cowards. Go ahead, run me through.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her. By our rights, you must decide her fate. I spared her once. It only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
She's dangerous, all right. But maybe that's exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether you live or die. After all that you've done, I can't let you live.
Finally. Then claim your...
that's over then.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room. He surrendered to our guards outside the grove. Claims he has an urgent message for the Outlander who defeated Regala.
So, state it.
It's for her alone. From an interested party.
I'm gonna need some privacy.
Clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
I'll see you back at base.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Regala's bow. May you always strike true with it.
Thank you.
Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tanakh for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you've doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong. I don't need a Tanakh army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Aloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Go on.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I agree to that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship. So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong. Time to submit to the inevitable silence and follow the person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late. Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board. So head to my base.
I needed the back.
Impressive.
My blade's not as quick as I'd like.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
If you're ever in need of...
Now that I can fly, I might want to see what else I can do before I head back.
Stand up straight, Cavo. Aloy's here.
That's how they fight.
So, Aloy, you've added yet another deed to your name, and I'm guessing by the look in your eyes that you're not done yet.
Not quite.
Is there anything we can do? We owe you that much.
After everything you've been through, you're one of the best people to support Hikaru's bid for peace. Not just between the clans, but with the Karja too.
Then I will. You have my word.
And until my last breath, I'll make sure the tribe remembers all that you've done for us.
How's our supply?
May your blade be bright.
We have enough to last until meeting. It isn't the flame of the desert.
And so the Wings of the Ten found us when things were at their direst.
I'm not some legend come to life, Chitaka.
That may be, but we will always be in your debt.
Aloy, never doubted you knew how to make an entrance, but that, ooh, that was something else.
Didn't think I'd find you here.
You know, I just thought a battle that'll be sung about for generations wouldn't sound as epic if the Desert Commander were missing.
So, Carl control the tribe.
Well, good thing I have a little something called strategy.
Spirit soared the skies with that she flew is how I can block the fences. Your arrows were true. I told him you could shoot.
Water in my boots. And down.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All is here. You know, your focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him, so I had him wait in your room.
Got it. Thanks. Well, Silence. Looks like you finally found a door you could open without me.
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company you keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again, I will kill you no matter what the circumstance. Understood?
Very well. Though we'll both face a decidedly short future if you can't get us inside that base.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Thanks. Good timing. The truth is, I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
The company you keep is even worse than I thought.
Not a fan of surprises, are you? Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design and output.
How can we be sure?
Care for a demonstration?
Enough, both of you. We're in this together, at least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
Better get everyone in the control room so Tilda can tell us what she knows about the Zenith base.
Just you wait, Barb. We're taking those space lights.
Okay. Maybe it's time to get everyone together so Tilda can brief us. But is there anything I should handle before that? Okay. Data module's in. All right, people. I need you up in the control room, right away. Okay, everyone. We all know what's at stake. Beta, Gaia. Not to mention life on Earth. Now, it might seem like the Zeniths are invincible, but they're not. We've got what it takes to break into their base and defeat them. We even have one of them on our side. Tilda, show us the base.
It is constructed atop the ruins of an ancient military facility on an island to the southwest. I can get us inside. To this location, undetected.
How exactly?
You'll know when you need to. Once inside, our goal will be this structure. The launch tower. Gaia and Beta are being held at the top. But along the way, we will face overwhelming resistance. Most importantly from Gerard, Eric, and the others. But also...
Once I take away their shields, we should be able to deal with them. But it will be easier to deploy the device if someone else is carrying it. I'll need a strong back.
Carry stuff? Yeah, I can do that.
Even if your device works, there will still be Spectre drones, scores of them.
If only we had an army to fight them.
I've got that under control. You'll know when you need to. All right. We'll meet up again just before we go in. Where's the best place to rendezvous?
On the coast, just across from the island. Once there, I'll show you the way.
Okay. I'll let you know when I arrive at the rendezvous point. And then you can join me. In the meantime, do whatever you need to prepare. Understood? You two? A minute? Tilda helped me get in touch with Beta, and she told me something important. There's an installation inside the base. It's called a regulator. Here. Once we're inside, I need you two to split off from everyone else and destroy it. So you'll have to bring explosives. This will help stop the drones. Everything depends on it. Are you with me? After that, I want you to find a way to infiltrate the Zenith network.
How?
Go over all the data that Beta left behind. She knew how to do it, I'm sure of that.
All right. But why? What am I trying to do?
Find information about the Zeniths. Anything Tilda's not telling us. Silence is right about one thing. There's no way we can take her on her word.
I'll do my best.
Keep her safe, okay?
On my life.
Okay. Almost time to go after Beta and Gaia. Might be good to check up on everyone first.
Aloy, may we speak? Aloy, we're ready to meet you at the rendezvous point whenever you call.
Fighting the Zeniths isn't going to be easy.
Nothing you do ever is. At least, now you don't have to do it alone.
Thanks.
Oh, I also wanted to give you this. For helping with the land gods. Plainsong is in your debt.
Thank you, Zoe.
You deserve much more for all you've done. May the land always bloom in your steps.
And yours? How'd it go with the chorus after we fixed the land gods?
They were shocked when I told them that our lands would soon be on the mend. I thought Fane's eyes would pop out of his head. But of course they had no choice but to take it as good news, even if it meant all their preaching about meekly accepting our doom was exposed as rot. To be honest, I found the conversation to be highly enjoyable.
I'm glad. You deserve it. They're lucky that you never gave up on saving them. Have you talked to any of our new friends?
Erend and I tried speaking to Sylens, but apparently our tribal prattle is unnecessary.
Charming, isn't he? How's Erend doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost both you and Varl. But he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's stubbornness comes in handy sometimes.
Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Varl gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we have here, she turned so pale I thought she'd faint on the spot. We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
That sounds like Alva. How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines, as some called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and You'd think we have enough of that going around as it.
You and Aaron seem to be on better terms now.
He may have terrible taste in music, but he did. And that ale he keeps raving about isn't half bad. I still plan on beating that stubborn face of his to break our sparring stalemate.
Try not to hurt him too bad. Everyone here. If it weren't for Varl.
You know, he realized I was having troubles. To be honest, I think we both. So he brought up this hologram of Earth that you two found, but we sat there. I thought about how Plainsong was, just how every corner of it, and any fears I had. I miss him terribly.
I know. Ready to head over to the Zenith?
Whatever comes.
You look like you have something on.
We're going to wars, and war is something I promised myself I'd left behind. But every voice I hear, it makes me realize just fighting for that gift. If we fail,
helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there.
I don't know what you're talking. Read anything interesting?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented cleanse their aura. I think I'll stick to singing.
Thoughts on our new...
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of... She's more like a cold piece of metal.
She's... I should go.
Before you do.
What is it?
You placed this focus in my care, and gave me the highest calling. If I should fall in battle, I'd like you to be the one to bury my seed pouch. For the both of us.
So...
Make sure you stay alive to do so.
Let's just try to all come back home. Okay? You nervous?
I'd be lying if I said I'm not slightly apprehensive.
The plan will work, if we...
Right.
I hope our new guest...
Miss Silence. He's the one who...
He is. Though he refuses to dole out his secrets to us,
Oh.
You know that special part of us? That... Yeah. How are you holding up?
Varl's loss. I didn't know him well, but... Zoe and Aaron seem... But I don't quite...
They need time.
And what about...
I don't know. I imagine you don't know what...
It's funny, because one of... Not that you are the same person. I mean, you are, as in, you're both... But even so...
We grew up very different.
Yes.
I hope everyone's...
Oh, yeah, and they... It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share...
Sounds restricted.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit. I did hear her singing with Varl not... Zoe seemed so... and she looked happy.
You should ask Zoe to teach...
Maybe.
We won't let the Zeniths get...
Everyone's ready.
And you?
Nervous?
Don't worry. I want you to know I'm...
Whatever happens, I'm grateful that the legacy brought us... I never thought I'd get to actually...
Come on, do I look that... Katalo will protect you inside the Zenith base.
I'm not afraid. I know Katalo will fulfill... If we die doing so...
I'd rather you both...
We'll try.
I see you've been using your...
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the overseers would actually...
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their...
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them, but Sirius is way... And we thought journeying across the ocean, the sheer calculations...
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that were from a fire lit by the god. What was Leviathan again?
A flood control system back in the Great Delta. It was built by Eileen Sasaki, another of our ancestors. If we can acquire the data on it, we might be able to fix this. Then my sister won't have to live in fear of their homes washing away.
Right. And to find... So...
Yes. The most an entire culture based on the holograms of an ancient museum. There's much they've misinterpreted. But still, there's a nobility to what they've become.
And deadly. Once all this is over,
I don't know. If I go back, I don't even know if they'd let me keep this focus you gave me. Or what they'd do to me for reading what is clearly forbidden data. Even if I somehow were allowed to care, would I be willing to let the ancestors be? Would I dare challenge them and risk my... or losing...
Who's this?
We used to be right. I hated her guts. But apparently there's a fine line. We became very close. And then I was assigned. She promised she'd wait for me. No matter how long.
Well, that was smart of her. She won't do any...
Yeah, I don't know.
I do. I suppose you saw that Tilda is here.
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with one of the old ones. But now that she's here, all I feel is a vague unease. I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more uncomfortable truths or just scared of her. Probably both.
The rest of us should be enough of a distraction to the Zeniths for you to hack into their... But you'll have to be...
what exactly do you
I don't know. Back at the greenhouse,
Diviners are meant to... And many Imperials sponsor them in the Empire can put to use. But the Board of Overseers detrimental to this, like discover. That is why Diviners, only Overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can...
What happens to Diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes.
Right. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's. As such, he sponsored many Diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in any whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the Diviners discovered that Pharaoh spent, in fact, many of the most important ancestors. So the Emperor's nephew convinced might solve our most... If only we could find the right data in this... Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into... Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named Seo, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire. The living embodiment. It may seem strange now, but for a time, we really believed he would. We had no idea just how perilous the...
You said the expedition across... What happened?
We lost most of and scores of soldiers, and that was before. Once we landed, machines, and we struggled to replenish our ration. There were bright spots, to be sure. But nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dying. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere... You heard him? Spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out and...
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. But what the CEO became was a complete perversion to stand for. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness.
So, Bohai, your overseer.
He won't execute people on a whim, but he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to... always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
You mentioned the reason you came.
Her name is Alika. When I passed the divination exam, it brought honor to her. Only Alika begged.
Why?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not even your family. Unless you can get special...
Sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep. Diviners are few fearful that outsiders will try. Last time I was allowed to see my family. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from... But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure... I need to...
I'll be at the... May truthfully...
And I haven't forgotten. I'll let you know when I make it back.
Thank you, and...
Aloy, aren't we meeting at the beach near the Zenith?
We are. We're finally doing this.
Never thought I'd be off on a mission to take... I can hear the drinking...
Faro made the right call.
Thanks. I found out a few days before you... I was... so he... Vala... or...
You know, we never did get that drink you promised. And you never told me exact...
I guess we never got round to it. If...
I guess Silence is keeping to himself.
I was hoping he'd give me an excuse to hammer his sorry ass to the ground.
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one good hit on that smug face after everything he's done?
Sure. Later. Right. Do you think...
I don't think anyone's ever okay after losing. I can't tell you she's handling it better. That keeps the rest of us level-headed.
Do I smell?
I brought some over from Chain Scrape. With everything that's been going on, Besides, that's what my sister always said. Anyways.
Maybe another time. Anything happen I should know about?
Zoe asked us to help her, not for eating. If you ask me, the place is fine as it is. Metal might be plain, but it's nothing wrong with that.
How are things with Katalo?
Oh, she thinks she's funny. Actually, I asked if it'd be interested in playing a game of Strike. I had to fill in most of the conversation myself, but I'm still alive.
Glad to hear it. Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little... But I can see why you two hit it.
Anybody take you up on that ale?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means.
What about Katalo?
Ah, now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good...
Doesn't look like any...
Yet. So, I've been busting my balls trying to learn to read. You're at...
Don't worry. You'll be getting...
Looking forward.
You look tired.
Ha! I've just been making sure that I got everything down. I wouldn't want to be the you...
You'll do fine. You've been looking at any
I asked Gaia to find me something to look at, and she found the mother of all. They called it sport. Turns out the old ones, I'm tackling and punching. Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the
If that one's not working right, you can have one of my spare focuses, you know.
Little bugger's got some personality.
Saved my butt with those spectras.
You know, besides it...
Wouldn't want to spoil your look. What else have you been studying with your focus?
Yeah, I've been looking into this Vegas place you found. Gaia showed us everything that happened when you went to... I mean, this Moreland guy seems pretty smart, though risking the Tanakh clan lands for a lot...
Maybe I should check up on them at some point.
Right.
You,
I tried. I don't think even a hot forge could... And you say she wants to...
I think so. You think it's time for...
Yeah? Oh.
So, how did Ursa escape Mad Sun King Jiran's palace?
Well, see, during the war, the Karja threw a... You know, for what? To thinking somehow that was gonna appease... Ah! And when it was Ursa, the Karja thought she'd go down if they threw a big machine at her.
Oh, but she didn't.
And she defeated all of them. Even got some of Jiran's Kester. And the Mad Sun King thought it'd be funny to have her run around his palace as a servant. He enjoyed humiliating her.
I remember you telling me something about... That's how she met Avad. He helped her escape.
Yeah, but what no Karja scroll is how the young prince snuck Ursa out of the palace. He knew their best chance was to get Ursa to blend in. He got her everything she needed to disguise herself as a Karja noblewoman. Yeah, perfumes, veils, and all.
I get the feeling she wasn't too happy with that.
Oh man, Ursa would have rather fought her way with her bare hands than put on all of that Karja eye paint. But Avad insisted it was the only way, so she agreed. Avad had to dress up as well.
She made Avad dress up like a noblewoman?
As perfumed and powdered as a babe. Ursa said he looked better like that than he ever did in a crown.
That would, definitely make for an interesting sight.
Oh, it worked like a charm, too. Not only they paid a traveling merchant to get Ursa...
You were right.
All good stories are.
I guess I should get...
I'll see you at the rendezvous point.
I wouldn't have it any...
Did you need something? Bravo. You managed to sway a Zenith.
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was ready.
There's always room to up, but that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my undertaking.
Since when were you so forth?
Since you turned this into a waiting game. Modest success.
Okay, so your big plan, everything you've been manipulating for the... Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades when you interrogated it. Then you came up with a plan to defeat them by using a Tenakth army and that weapon. And to get the Tenakth to fight for you, or rather the Sons of Prometheus, armed Regalla's rebels with override tech.
Did you have an actual question, or are you still playing catch-up?
So all this time, even before I found the coordinates at the Spire, you were out here scheming. Why couldn't you just tell me?
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I laid out my plans. I knew I would one day require an army of overzealous Tenakth to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be extreme. And I knew you would never allow such a sacrifice, no matter how necessary. Thus, I devised a means to remove your interference from the equation. At the Hades Proving Lab.
Why create the Sons of Prometheus? You didn't need a bunch of Oseram tinkerers to make override tech.
They were a necessary safeguard. My time serving Hades in the Eclipse demonstrated the risks of getting directly involved. Through the Sons of Prometheus, I could all while remaining anonymous.
You wanted me to surrender to the Zenith at the Hades
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they would find you a useful asset, thereby keeping you out of harm's way and, more importantly...
So you really didn't know they had their own...
No. Unfortunately...
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here today. Tell me about the weapon. How does it work?
I've upgraded the delivery system. It now emits a wave-like effect covering a significant distance.
That doesn't fully answer my question.
No, but I'd be a fool to reveal its inner workings. After all, why did you withhold your plan for dealing with the Zenith drones? Yes, even you can appreciate the value of secrecy when warranted. Suffice it to say that the weapon will work. The intricacies of how is knowledge that is mine alone.
Why help Regalla take over? If you want...
Before Regalla's rebellion, Hikaru was only concerned with battling machines and fostering friendships with the Even if I gained his ear, he would never agree to send his forces to battle a threat he couldn't understand.
So helping a bloodthirsty exile...
Yes. All Regalla craved was war. Against the Carja and any... She would have led the tribe into battle without question, which was precisely...
While I was out there, I had a couple run-ins.
The tribe from across the ocean.
Their entire tribe was shaped around the discovery of... One of them, Alva, even joined me. Don't you want to know more about them?
No. They stumbled upon the greatest technological artifact from the ancient world, and what did they do with it? They shrouded the knowledge they unearthed in mysticism and taboo, creating a pantheon out of corporate shills.
Yes, well, it also led them to Thebes.
Did it now?
So those run-ins, on one of them I teamed up, we found Pharaoh.
You must have needed Omega clearance.
Worse than you can...
He single-handedly wiped out collective human. I'm sure it was still less than...
Let me guess. You would have like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
Alright, Silence. I'll let you know when it's time to... And try not... I don't need the two of you butting heads.
I wonder if you understand, for someone to live as long as she has, outlast as well. Your goals may be aligned.
Yeah, I'm aware. Reminds me of someone else I know.
Survival is only a necessity to... I'd hoped you'd recognize that by...
Do you know something or not?
Oh, I know a great deal of things. But...
Oh, a feeling. You mean you finally had one? Huh. Guess even you can change, Silence.
Remember, we need to get Silence weapon to the Zenith base intact if we want to take their shields down.
I'll be gentle. I promise.
Good. Without it.
There you are.
this console, there are still thousands of plant samples stored deep below the facility. Maybe one day we can access them. After we get Gaia and Hephaestus back.
Your friend out there. Well done, Aloy. You're truly a shining example.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. It was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever.
Okay, so...
I was an orphan. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder. Then I met Liz. It says we'd have coffee. I thought it was just shop talk, but soon we were flying halfway across the world, every other. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I think Liz felt the same. She had lost her mother a few years, but as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted and...
So helping me. Restoring...
A second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. So when I saw you, beyond even what made Liz, I knew I had to help you.
You said before that you're not like the other Zeniths. That you never were. But you went along with all of their plans.
Out of necessity. I'm not proud of it. But complicity became a means of survival, both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Sirius was destroyed. I did what I had to. But I resolved to remain one step ahead of the others, to try to undo what damage I could. Hence the data channel with Beta. The secret passage into their base and the little trick I pulled to save you.
Why did you make the data channel look like your house?
I built that house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Cultural artifacts. Truly. Some of...
And you want...
Yes. I thought it would... I hate data... She...
So, Eric...
I believe he got worse. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private band of cutthroats, and even as governments abandoned, he found success with clients. There were also rumors that he personally, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he retreated to... In them, he could go on rampage, though I suspect with...
What can you tell me about...
He was the head of the world, and as such, had dealings with all... It made him one of the... And certainly...
What does one person do?
Buy more power. Gerard's always believed himself able to maintain control, but beneath that exterior, it was his decision, the avatars of the... While we were...
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough.
I would very much like to see...
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. He was one of the good. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas. Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfect. And while others cloistered, he flung his doors wide.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he...
No, he perished. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of...
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient research facility, I saw another one of the Zeniths. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of... Unlike most of Far Zenith's members who amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals, Verbena inherited her billions. Her father had achieved great success. At age 24, she became the world's most eligible, branding herself a life designer. Someone who leverages their fame to influence...
What? Like a cult?
In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done some...
She was her own brand of ruthless. But even rats can cling to a vet...
Okay, so I've had run-ins with an
array of the wealthiest people on Earth.
And let me guess. All self...
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got along. Annika Murjani, for instance, was always delightful. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself... And I had fascinating discussions with Song Jiao about our immortality treatments are due in part to her achievements. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CE. His only real preoccupations were perfecting his golf swing and taking self-help. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more.
What else can we expect?
As I mentioned in the briefing, that's where Beta and Gaia are. They're also printing the natural resources.
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to a small army of them. In addition, after hundreds of years comforts, the ship was barely. Disaster can strike at any moment.
Have you figured out how...
No, and he's been very... I'll admit it bothers me, but I am confident it will deactivate the other shields.
How many of them are in the...
10. Only a handful of us made it to our ship when...
Why do you think Elizabeth...
I've wondered that. She was brilliant. She cared so deeply, but it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share. I think, in the end, she had... Sometimes I wonder if anyone really knew her.
I found a recording of you after Farzineth's attempt to steal God.
Yes. A most unpleasant conversation.
She said... I think she regretted how things ended.
Did she? Thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words, and that her last impression of me was as a function, not who I truly am.
Okay. I'll let you know when it's time.
I'll be here until then. And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this chance. My past has always been a struggle. More than once
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will.
Before I forget.
Haven't seen you since the
I saw you fly on the wings. I would say that I am...
Thank you.
It is I. All that remains is to follow.
We're lucky to have you on our side.
Oh, and by the way, I was hoping we could finally discuss this new arm of mine. If you have the time.
Have you spoken?
I did see him bring some ale from out east.
That stuff's as bitter as salve-brush.
You get used to it.
I'm sure Aaron... What do Tenakth do to...
We play strike, although he has yet to... It helps one think strategically. Hones the mind.
Somehow that still sounds like training. Have you spoke...
The Quen is peculiar. Her mind is sharp, but it's hard to imagine her surviving.
Trust me.
I will take...
You nerve...
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that...
I'll do my best. We didn't really get to talk about what happened at Gemini.
There was nothing. If he were Tenakth, among the most distinguished of our tribe's warriors, his deeds were worthy of the 10. When the fight is done, I will have the Inkers etch his memory on my...
I'm sure he'd be... Things will get ugly once you'll need every trick.
I would have it no. Many soldiers died. We will endure, though without an army.
Leave that to me.
As you say.
What do you think of this place?
It's an efficient center of operations, though it could use some more.
Duly noted. Anything interesting happen while I was away?
I found an acceptable place to...
Oh, and where's that?
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of...
Ever thought of sparring with something that's not...
That would defeat...
Found anything interesting?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the 10 fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of... as they vied for life. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts.
Yes, of course.
How are your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines here. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by... There is no glory or honor.
That about sums it up. Think you're ready to put all your
I am Tenakth.
Now that training type...
The bulwark, and how we need another miracle.
I'll try not to let you...
I know you...
Your people keep mentioning...
The visions tell us that the 10 flew on great and leapt into battle from the... For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate It is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Kulrut. And now, like the deeds of the 10 themselves, It will never be forgotten. So?
I won't lie.
I can only imagine.
Did you meet Tilt?
There is something about her. I wouldn't be surprised if my...
Honestly, with her? Remind me what we need to do to get you that...
Gaia said we can find what we need at the Zenith lab, where you found Beta.
Got it. I'll see you soon.
It will be...